Hello friends, my name is Vas Solo. I'm a recovered drug addict and alcoholic, a practicing yogi, and a certified meditation coach. Recovery from addiction has 3 distinct stages. Having gone through all of them, I'm going to share my experience with those of you who are still going through it, to help you on your journey so you can have a better chance of success. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. I upload videos about addiction, recovery, and personal development, so hit subscribe. Also, make sure to check out the new meditation course that I just released, where I teach all the fundamentals of meditation and help you establish a daily routine. For me, meditation has been a huge part of my recovery, and I truly believe it's the most powerful tool for self-transformation. So, if you're someone who wants to improve your mental health, to become more emotionally stable, and to feel happier and more fulfilled, and you want to support the channel, sign up for the course today. Just click on the link in the description, type in the promo code VAS, and get 15% off your purchase. I'm not religious, but there are many stories in the Bible which are deeply symbolic, and when properly understood, point to some really profound truths. One of them, the story of Exodus, is the perfect allegory for the journey of recovery from addiction. In it, Moses takes the Israelites out of Egypt, where they're slaves, and into the desert, where they wander for 40 years, facing many trials and tribulations before finding the Promised Land. For addicts, Egypt represents that familiar and predictable place. It's where we were born and raised and have been living under the oppressive rule of the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh represents our addiction.
The slaves are mine. Their lives are mine. All that they own is mine.
By living under his regime, we've traded our humanity and dignity for his so-called protection. In our case, this is the escape that the drugs and alcohol provide. We may not be happy, we may want to leave, but we're scared. After all, Egypt is all we know. It's where we've lived all our lives. And it's hard to leave something you know in search of something that you've never seen. And so our fear of the unknown and our doubts keeps us stuck. So what got me to leave? The pain of another relapse became greater than the pain of recovery. In other words, I decided I'd rather take that chance than take one more lash of the whip. And that will be different for everyone. Some will let the Pharaoh abuse and degrade them for years, take away their home, their job, and their kids. Some will even die before going on that journey. And for others, it will only take several beatings before they go, I'm out of here. I'll take my chances in the desert.
Okay, that does it. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Now, the main character in the story of Exodus is Moses. He's the one that rallies the Israelites to leave. Moses is that inner voice of strength that knows what's best for us. It's the voice that we often ignore because we don't want to hear the truth. Plus, the other voices inside us, the voices of fear, doubt, anger, and pride, are very loud and convincing. But when the suffering we endure under the tyrannical rule of addiction becomes too much to bear, once the pain of another relapse becomes greater than the pain of recovery, we finally start listening to that inner voice that's telling us to leave. After leaving Egypt, the Israelites wander in the desert for 40 years, facing many trials and tribulations before they find the Promised Land. In our case, the desert represents the difficult road to recovery. And in general, it's symbolic of the journey of life. Some of you watching this are going through an addiction right now. Ask yourself, why am I stuck in Egypt? My reason was because I hadn't suffered enough to take that chance. See, the road to greatness isn't paved with gold. It requires courage and determination. It's why so many people waste their potential. The most painful part of addiction is not the hangovers or the financial ruin or even the betrayal of our loved ones. It's knowing that we're betraying something within ourselves that is capable of so much more. When I became an addict, I couldn't accept it. I thought, why is this happening to me? But the truth is that I never lived up to my potential. My teachers would tell my parents, he's very smart and he could do really well if he only tried. Well, it took 12 years of addiction for me to finally do that. To get off my ass, to put my ego and my prejudices aside, and to finally go to a meeting. When they're in the desert, God gives Moses the 10 Commandments.
We will not live by your commandments, we're free!
There is no freedom without the law.
My 10 Commandments were the 12 steps. I was told, if you work these steps, you'll recover. Simple, right? But in order to do that, I had to adopt a whole new way of living. I wasn't used to being humble, tolerant, loving, and kind. I wasn't used to taking directions from others, but that's what it took. I had to change. And that was the difficult part. I had to destroy the corrupt and shaky foundation on which my entire persona was built, which was painful, and to use the tools and instructions that I was given to recreate a new and more reliable structure, which was hard. But in my mind, there was no other alternative. Most of my life, I had taken the easy way. I did whatever I wanted in spite of the consequences. I never questioned my cynical view of the world. And look where it landed me. 32 years old and a drug addict. In Exodus, God tells Moses that the people who left Egypt would all have to die, and that only the next generation of Israelites could enter the promised land, which is symbolic of destroying all of our weaknesses, or our vices, and replacing them with our newly developed strengths, or our virtues. If you want to recover, you have to be willing to do this. The question is, are you? I hope that it's clear by now that the 3 stages of recovery are symbolic of an internal journey of transformation. From Egypt, a place of suffering and pain ruled by the tyrant addiction, to the desert, which we have to cross and where we learn our most valuable lessons, and to the promised land, which is our destination and which represents recovery. Recovery being an internal state of balance, harmony, and peace. Attaining this state means freedom from the past. It means the transformation of our being. It means the awakening of the best within us. It means that now we can truly start to live and live well. It means that now we understand our purpose and we can serve others by sharing our experience. The Promised Land is a place that any of us can reach, if we are willing to go on that journey. The beauty of it is that we don't have to do it alone or without a map. The blueprint is there. The support of those who have made this journey before us and who want to help us is there. But the decision is ultimately up to you. Do you want to stay in Egypt or do you want to leave? If you do, then I suggest that you go to a meeting, get a sponsor, and work the steps. I promise you, it will change your life. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell. I'll be making many more videos about recovery, so make sure to subscribe. And thank you for letting me share this message. Please share in the comments if it resonated with you, or just tell me your story. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.